We are live. What is up, friendly neighborhood nerds? Jeter Rad. I'm here with Robo Strange, and we got a special guest with us today, Nina Daisy Aberline, all the way from Italy, joining us today. We're going to talk about her webcomic, Sunrise Blossom, on Webtoons, and you'll see some links in the chat from Abrams when it comes up, which I think it just did. So anyway. Kind of a weird episode this week because I'm in a hotel in Killeen, Texas, and Robo's in a hotel in Vegas?
Las Vegas, Sin City. Yeah,
you win. Yeah,
yeah. I leave tomorrow. Though, so it was
cool.
So Killeen's not like I heard. Killeen was called the Las Vegas of Texas. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Kind of. It's definitely a gamble to be here. So
your life.
Yeah. But yeah, so here's a question. If what happens in Texas stays in Texas, or excuse me, if what happens in Vegas, if what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, does that mean that can anyone see Robo right now? Because is the stream even escaping the city of Texas?
No.
Or?
Yeah, absolutely. But when I leave Vegas, I cease to exist. So.
Oh, okay.
Or does that mean that while we see you, we're all automatically, temporarily part of Vegas?
That's right.
Yes.
No, that's the rule. So
the contagious Vegas effect.
You shouldn't be able to see me. But since you do, that means by the rules, you all are in Vegas now.
What a wonderful evening.
That's awesome.
It's the rules.
I'm going to blow all my money during this stream. Cool. So we have a lot of good stuff to get to today. We're definitely going to, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about War of the Bounty Hunters, and we're going to talk about Heroes Reborn. And there's just no way around that. Well,
you're there.
Get on that plane.
Yeah,
but we're definitely going to talk about Heroes Reborn and War of the Bounty Hunters. But first, let's talk a little bit more about Nina. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Sunrise Blossom? I had a chance to look at it, and I got into it. It's it looks like you're doing all that stuff yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Must be a lot of work. Why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, so harpies, lesbians, falcons, drama. Sunrise Blossom is a coming-of-age story about Ivy, a young falcon harpy abandoned by her birth mother and raised by a family of owls. While traveling with her sister to learn about human culture, Ivy has an argument with her and they are separated. And then she is picked up by a human woman, Violet, who helps her discover herself and bloom into womanhood, both emotionally and physically. But it is only after a dramatic turn of events that Ivy discovers her feelings for her human companion. So Sunrise Blossom is my biggest project to date. It is roughly 220 pages long in traditional comic format. I have been drawing comics for a little over 5 years now, and the majority of that has been spent working on the first volume of this, which was finally finished, which finally reached its conclusion just a couple of weeks ago. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted the season 1 finale on the Webtoons platform, and has now moved towards Indiegogo to fund the printing of the book.
Okay, Indiegogo. Real quick, she doesn't know what Comicsgate is, so we're just gonna pretend
Comic what?
Nothing. Just go ahead. Tell us more about this Indiegogo.
Okay, so the Indiegogo launched roughly a week and a half ago. It's been going pretty well. We're at roughly 76% funded right now, so everything's going pretty well. What else can I say about the campaign? Sorry, words are completely escaping my mouth right now.
Well, you had on here. I saw that you, as a part of your campaign, you have some preview pages up.
Oh yeah.
It looks like the like whatever you're using for the art has definitely come a long way because I was just scrolling through the first episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then here we are at the end, and for the whole compilation, and it seems like the quality. I don't know if what's changed about the art, but it
Well,
looks really good.
so you mentioned in the after I think the second chapter that you originally wrote the story for traditional page by page comic books, and that you've adjusted to writing specifically for the Webtoons format. Are you gonna go back and redo the earlier pages to kind of also match that Webtoons format, or are you gonna leave it as is? What's the plan with that?
Well, most of the earlier page, well, aside from the prologue, which I completely redid during the summer, but to everyone who is watching Quiz, also a Webtoons creator, do not redo more than your prologue because then you fall into redo hell and you don't get anywhere and you
Right.
absolutely don't get anything done. So this summer, last summer, I completely redid the prologue, which was by far the. Can I say the S word? Is that allowed?
You can say the S
Any
word.
word you want.
Okay, which was by far
Almost.
the shittiest pages I have
whoa,
drawn
not-
in a long time.
Not
Whoa,
that
S
not
word?
that not
Oh
that
my
S word.
God.
Oh Jesus.
And so now that they look a lot better. So the way that I refix some of the older pages. So here's some examples. Some of the older pages into the vertical format is that I would pretty much cut, pasted to fit into the vertical format, readjusted the bubbles here and there when it was necessary. And after a certain point, I was like, frick this, I'm just going to work directly in the vertical format. And I have done so. And then here are examples of how I fixed from the vertical format to back to the traditional format for the print.
Cool.
That's interesting. I like what you did here with how you have up the left here, how the Webtoons kind of follows that kind of flowing kind of imagery deal, and so how you translated it for print, how where the way your eyes are going to come down the page, and there's still that gap there that kind of obviously is supposed to be that sort of emptiness that you see in the Webtoons. I think it translates well. You did a really good job with this. I like that.
No, that's one of the things that is normally the most difficult. So all the storyboards, so like all the thumbnails, like from the beginning to the end, I've always done in the traditional format so that when organizing for print in the future, which is the present right now, it would be easier to know where to put the panels and what shape panels make them. And that has helped a lot. And so yeah, I roughly have a guide on where to put the panels with very few page exceptions where like it sometimes happens you do the thumbnails and then you look at the result and you're like, this doesn't flow well, and so you have to add a bunch of other extra panels to make the scene move more fluently. But then where do you put those extra panels?
Right.
And so it's mostly bits like that which can be tough at times.
So Nina,
awesome.
when we first spoke before we scheduled this episode, so I'm just gonna read, if you don't mind, I'm gonna read what you said. You said, "I'd like to talk about the main topics in the comic: LGBT plus themes, family, sex and relationships, related trauma, personal growth, and then monster girls and how they fit/don't fit in the furry community." Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time and not deliver. Like, let's talk about those things.
Okay, which part first?
Monster girls.
First.
So I don't really identify as a furry, but if you look at the kind of stuff that I draw, it might definitely give that kind of impression.
It definitely looks like something that would appeal to them, yeah?
So you casually dabble in furry, but you have not gone full furry.
I guess. I mean, my characters have got the ears, the tails, the legs, but most of them don't have the face. Like the animal face.
Huh. Okay. So I feel like maybe there's correct me, I'm probably wrong, but I thought that furry meant you live your life dressed like a mascot, and that's like where you're most comfortable is dressed like, or like wearing like a big furry costume. Is
Animal.
that
Yeah.
is that not what a furry is?
Not exactly. So the people you're describing are parts of the furry community, but pretty much furries are all people who enjoy content with animals or like half animal characters, like the Beastars, Zootopia, the Disney Robin Hood movie.
Wait a
Okay.
Those
minute.
are examples
Wait.
of
I
furry
like
content.
Zootopia.
Uh-oh.
Robo's a furry. You heard it here first, folks.
Uh-oh.
You've awakened something in me.
So Glynis is interested if we
Yeah.
kind of pushed more into the monster girl direction. So talk to us.
Do
Talk to
monster
us, Nina.
girls belong?
I actually made this poll in a furry group a few months ago because I was like, okay, can I market this comic to the furry community or not? And kind of surprisingly enough, most furries do not recognize monster girls as furries. Like some would be a bit more obvious, like I don't know, zombie girls or vampires, slime girls. It might be a bit more obvious that they're not furries. But then in the monster girl genre, you also have harpies, centaurs, snake girls. What else is there? Well, minotaurs, werewolves, which should count as furries, in my opinion, because they're still half human, half animal. But there's like an entire spectrum between human and animal. And while the furry community should technically include everything up until human, so if you have like even just like I don't know the wolf ears and the tail, it should count as furry.
Like cat girls? Yeah.
Exactly. For many furries, that's not enough.
So I obviously know what it is, but just for the morons in the audience, can you explain what a slime girl is? Okay, the truth is I don't know what it is either, but
A slime girl is a girl entirely made of slime. So
Okay.
she is sometimes warm, sometimes cool, very gushy, very gooey, very moist, and for some people, very hot. For some people, a big turnoff.
Oh,
It's hard to be in between on
So
this
how do
turn
you-
on, turn off.
how do you know so much about it? Is this a part of like your writing, or is your story going to include other monster girls in the MonsterVerse type stuff?
Yeah. So many, roughly half of the characters, if not more, in my comic, I would say count as monster people /
Yeah.
furries.
Okay.
Some of them are closer to animals. Some of them are closer to humans in looks, but they're all there on the spectrum. And I lost my train of thought. What was the question again? Oh,
I just no, yeah, go.
right.
No, let her-
Sorry, you asked about.
You lost
Was-
it. See, you said it.
I lost it again. Okay, can you ask again, please?
I think it's just how did you know so much about it, and are they a part of your story? Yeah.
Right. So a few years ago, I don't know, 5-6 years ago or so, an anime came out that absolutely changed my life. But not in a "ooh, Naruto is awesome" kind of way. But there's this anime called Daily Life with Monster Girls, and normally it has everything in a series that I absolutely hate, like with a passion. So it's a harem series. The women are so it's a harem. The women are objectified. They're sexualized. They have no personality, and all the girls are fighting for this one super bland, super basic guy. And I normally absolutely hate that kind of series because it's just a series that portrays women as sexual objects, but the girls in that series are so cute. They're so freaking cute, and I absolutely fell in love with them. And I have been pretty much obsessed with monster girls as a genre ever since, and I just had to include a little bit of it in at least one of my biggest projects, and so I have.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, this sounds like it's definitely going to be a really good story.
Thank you.
Back be rolling. Out.
I feel like I've learned.
And one small thing. I know that there's a euro sign, and I know it's shipping from Europe, but shipping to the US is not going to be crazy expensive. So I know that normally shipping from Europe to the US can be, at times, sadly, more expensive than the book itself. But I have struck a deal with a comics logistics company in the US, Critical Blast Logistics, and I am going to organize the shipping to the US with them. So all shipping to the US, instead of like 20 something euros, which would be like, I don't know, $25 or so, is actually going to be only 15 euros.
Wow.
Which is much, much cheaper and is much more affordable than it otherwise would be. So please don't be scared off by the euro sign. It's more affordable than you might think. Especially considering it's... Yeah?
I was going to say, so like euro, is that like hundreds of dollars or like $3?
A euro is like one point... It's like one... Well, for those who don't know, it's like, I don't know, $1.2, $1.3.
Okay.
So like a 25 euro comic is almost $30 or so.
I usually do that joke with metric system. I don't think it landed for euros.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, it's a 220 plus page comic, so it's a pretty big book.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I know this might seem small, but for a comic, it's pretty big.
That's a lot of bang for your buck. And you're a very shrewd businesswoman working out such a good shipping deal. So
that's awesome.
Nice. I like it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Cool.
All right.
So we have a lot of other things to get into, and Nina's gonna continue to hang out with us while we get into them. By the way, if you scroll up in the chat, you can see I Freaking Love Comics posted the link to the Indiegogo. Aramis also posted it, so it is there, and give it a look. Check it out. Also, go to Webtoons and be sure to check it out there as well.
Thank you.
So, Robo, Nina, are either of you reading War of the Bounty Hunters, or is it just me right now? Just me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make it real.
Covers though.
Yeah, really dope covers. So, and by the way, Glynis really appreciates your flower crown, and I don't blame them.
Thank you.
Okay, so I managed to get my pulls. I'm large.
Yeah,
I'm
look
large.
at that. See that?
And I have the War of the Bounty Hunters here. So real quick, since we're just gonna go into like whatever is reading, I stopped by the LCS today on my way back from work. I did not get a chance to read all of these yet, but I picked up the new Radiant Black, and I don't know if anybody else is reading this, but it's just so good. It's too good. There's the one splash page that I just have to show off here. Just check that out. How amazing does that look? It's just an awesome book. It's an awesome book, and I'm super into it. Say what?
Oh shit!
What is going on? Did you mute me?
Nah, you go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. I got Legends of the Dark Knight #1. I haven't read that yet. It's brand new. And then as soon as this stream is over, I'm going to tear this open because I'm super into this story. So check it out. Empire Strikes Back just ended, and Return of the Jedi hasn't happened yet, and Boba Fett is en route to Jabba the Hutt with Han Solo's body frozen in carbonite. And that's where this story lives. And it's just like, it feels like a continuation of The Empire Strikes Back. Like, it just has that Star Wars vibe. And I don't know. I can't remember what species Cy Snoodles is from the Return of the Jedi, but so far I've been seeing a lot of Cy Snoodles species, and that makes me really happy because it's one of the most enjoyable looking creatures in Star Wars. Heroes Reborn, which we're going to kind of get into that. I'm sure Robo will bring it up again when we get to hit what he's been reading, and definitely this is definitely a better event than I thought it was going to be. I was actually not excited for it.
Number 3 came out today?
Yeah, number 3 came out today. I haven't cracked it open yet, but I was not excited for this event, and it's turning into one of the ones I'm looking more forward to. And then, of course, I had to get Kieran and Isad's Eternals. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this because it's really good. Alrighty, Robo, what have you been reading lately?
Wait, did you just show off something? You just trying to show off something?
No.
Is Judy Red married?
Wait. What? Am I?
What?
Oh.
What is that? What is that? Ladies and gentlemen and MBs, Judah Rad is a married man. Sorry for everyone. Sorry.
Sorry, everyone. And my wife is in the chat, so everybody say hi to Sammy.
That's right. You get. He will cash app you $20 if you. Oh, did you already say the name? If you can guess which one it is.
Awesome.
It's Comics on the Mind. Comics on the Mind. What's going on? All right. So is that all you're reading there?
No, I'm also reading Department of Truth, but it hasn't come out this week. I'm also reading ENIAC, but I'm waiting on that last one. I'm super into all the bad idea stuff and Noctera. I love that too, but I'm gonna leave it out because it didn't come out this week.
Yeah. I'll leave myself small. I didn't really pick up anything today. I am reading Heroes Reborn. I'm actually buying more stuff on. My screen was cool. Buying more stuff on Comixology and the Marvels app. I know there's a lot of good stuff coming out on DC. I heard. I think I might have to check that out. But like I said, I'm in Vegas and I don't have my car and I'm not going to Uber so we'll wait till I get back. But yeah, I tell you what. Oh, Mike, here you go. All right. I didn't buy any Comic Heroes Born, so that's what this is going on. What about you? Did you buy some stuff today, Nina?
Actually, literally yesterday, I got it's indie, so I'm guessing you might not know it. I got it just arrived last week. Life on Korra 3 Octaz Climbs. It's a really, really cute short indie comic. So just to make it short, so not to take up too much time, it's a 32-page standalone story. And there are many books of the series that focus on different species that live on the world of Korra, which is pretty much a giant floating orb with continents that rotate around it. And so the focus of this small indie series is on various creatures that live in that world. And so the volume 3 has just shipped out, and volume 4 is currently pre-launched for signups, also on Indiegogo. And I've been also in contact with the creator, and I'm going to do one of the variant covers for the next volume. So that's exciting.
Oh, wow. That's really dope.
Ooh, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If you give me a half second, I'll see if I can get it.
Yeah. Go ahead. That'd be dope.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a half second.
Let's see what else we got going on.
So
you wanted to? Did you say what you wanted to say about War of Bounty Hunters?
Yeah, I said what I wanted to say about it. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but it's awesome. So let's talk about Heroes Reborn real quick.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Before we get into that, I want you to do me a favor because you said something on our Instagram account that I was like, oh well, fuck, well that makes more sense. You know, there's an original Heroes Reborn, right?
Okay, so
Can you just give like a 5-minute TLDR on that?
I'll make it faster than 5 minutes. So Marvel was like sort of going out of business because it was like right after the speculator boom, and all of a sudden like they just weren't selling enough comics to maintain, and it was
The 90s then.
This is the 90s. Yeah, it was a really bad time for comics, and Marvel was desperate. So they outsourced Marvel Comics to Image for like 1 year, and it was like all these Image writers like Rob Liefeld and all the Jim Lee and like all these other dudes were basically they rebooted the Marvel universe, and it did okay. The first few issues sold really well, and then it kind of mallered. And I think some people say that the Captain America run was really good, but there were a lot of really weak runs, and it just didn't do great. So it was just for a year, and it was almost like a prototype for the Ultimate Universe. It was just a separate Marvel. Like they restarted it, complete hard reboot of all Marvel. And this is what this could have been.
Was it ridiculous? Was it? Did they have like even for comic standards, ridiculous comic book feats in it and shit like that, or no?
I don't know about the feats, but the infamous Rob Liefeld image of Captain America looking like a refrigerator. Yeah, that's Heroes Reborn. So, so anyway, they ended up killing the Heroes Reborn universe in an event called Heroes Return, and then the normal all the characters went back to the normal Marvel Universe 616, and it turns out that the whole Reborn universe was really just a fever dream that Franklin Richards. I almost said Ben Franklin. Franklin Richards had, where he just created after Onslaught. Franklin Richards created a pocket universe because all the Avengers died at the end of Onslaught, and in this pocket universe, he kept all these characters safe while rebooting the Marvel universe, and that's really what Heroes Reborn was. So, with that, what was your little prediction about Heroes Reborn for 2021?
Let's say that one more time.
What was your prediction again for because you made a prediction without knowing that?
100% didn't know any of that, right? And I'm just reading it, and there's just little things that people are like, yeah, it's comic book shit. Okay, it's just comic book. I'm like, no. Like Thanos with Infinity Gems is gripping Hyperion's neck. How does he break the grip? By flexing his neck muscles extra, and then his neck muscles come out and they're veiny. And I'm reading it. I'm like, what's going on right now? I don't know what's going on. And then there's like this weird kind of comments, and then
he brains Galactus.
Yeah. So let's actually put it up there. Boom. I'm sure by now everybody has seen it. But let's go ahead and put that up. Share screen, and boom. So. This motherfucker does this. Now, here's the thing about this scene. Now, number one is the Hyperion breaking the grip with the neck muscles. That's like the most. What is this? A comic book? A comedy comic book? But then I come to this, and it was literally after the splash page of like Galactus arrives, and then there's a badass scene in front where Silver Surfer flies in front of him, and then blap, like, not just kidding, and we're like, what is going on? So then I put it in the comments.
Go. I was just going to say, not to be a big dork, but just for the non-Marvel fans in the room, just to kind of like explain the magnitude of what you're seeing on the screen right now. Galactus is a god. He's fucking Galactus. He consumes planets and like is hungry again, like almost immediately afterwards. Like he's a fucking god. The only way they were able to stop him from consuming the Earth was threatening him with the ultimate nullifier, which is like of an Infinity Gauntlet-esque weapon of mass destruction that could destroy a galaxy. So this dude is fucking unstoppable, and here you have Hyperion casually with a smile on his face. He's flying through his fucking brain. I mean, this dude is unstoppable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So even to comic book readers, even to people who are used to the ridiculousness and the power levels that are involved, this scene is just, to put it plainly, it's stupid. It's stupid in a good way, though. It's like stupid, like what? But like that doesn't make any sense. That shouldn't be possible, right? And so my thing was, I'm in the comics. I'm like, I'm calling it. I'm thinking I'm so smart and wise. I'm like, I'm calling it. I'm calling it. There's some sort of like Mr. Impossible, Mr. Mixamicalix, whatever that person is in the DC universe.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And the only way to send him back is to say his name backwards. Yeah.
Yep, that guy. I'm like, this is something. I said, watch it be like the fever dream of some cosmic child or something. And then Judah's like, well, that's the premise of the first one. I'm like, oh.
But the real Blade is there. The real Blade is there.
Yeah, the real Blade. Yeah, and probably the real Captain America, given the fact that we see Hyperion do this. And spoiler alert from two, Hyperion can't hurt Captain America. Can't like see through he was X-visioning him, and it was just weird. So something's wrong with the reality, and Captain America not being superpowered is hurting Hyperion, who is doing what you see on the screen a couple pages before that. So
he grabs Hyperion's hand. He hurts Hyperion's hand, right?
Yeah. No. So again, I don't think, I know in anime and comic books, we definitely have a lot of power level problems. Like, you could jump from one side of the galaxy to another, but you just tripped over this thing 3 episodes later, right? But in this case, it's in the same book, and it's like, I don't think it's as much a writing error or continuity error or something. It's a sign that like something's not right here, and it should look ridiculous. So
there was a period of time, like recently, like not even long ago, like maybe like in the last like 5 years, where the big conversation ender in Facebook arguments about character versus character power levels, the big like mic drop was, oh yeah, well, have you ever heard of the Sentry? The Sentry's days of being people's like back pocket like argument winner is over. Like now you're gonna see it's just gonna be Hyperion. Anytime anyone's like, let's build the best super team, everyone's just gonna be like, well, Hyperion, and Hyperion.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Since we see how ridiculous this is, I guarantee people aren't going to accept that answer. If we find out that this story is not canon, if this story is just some ridiculous the Mephisto thing. Oh, I'm not at home. Yeah.
Oh man.
I was going to look for my cards.
Tell it though. Tell
on
it.
the other side of the country. Yeah. Just for everybody who knows, folks. So to answer your question, Danny M. I think Squadron Supreme is, especially with Hyperion at the lead, beyond anything in any comic books. They are on purpose. The One Punch Man. They are supposed to be satire, right? So they are the One Punch Man of Marvel Comics, and they're making fun of Superman, all that stuff. That's why Hyperion is doing this stuff. I don't think it's going to be on purpose. I don't think it's going to be able to be canon, like who's the most powerful, and it's going to be like. It would be as silly as saying Squirrel Girl because of that one comic book where she beats everybody in the Marvel Universe. It's like, or Deadpool because he killed everyone in the Marvel Universe. It won't be an acceptable answer because I don't think this story is happening in real life. Now, there is a pack of cards that came with Heroes Reborn #1. Went to my LCS. I got the back issues that I missed. And he's like, hey, well, this came with a pack of cards. I'm usually not an accessories guy. Judah is. But I'm like, yeah, sure. Let me pick these. Let me pick up these cards. And as I'm going through, it's like it's set in the whatever reality this Heroes Reborn is in, and so it's calling like Hyperion and Blur and Silver Scarlet. They're calling them heroes, but then it gets to Blade and Captain America, and they're calling them villains. And as we're flipping through. These old school style cards, I get to the last card, and it's fucking Mephisto. And Mephisto is the last card in this playing deck, and it says villain. And so
the meme is too big. Like now, Mephisto is gonna happen.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't think that's it. I bet you that if they had another like person involved at the end of this, after what was it? What was the show?
After WandaVision.
Vision. WandaVision. There it is.
Yeah.
So WandaVision. After that, they're like, "Hey, what were you gonna put? Oh, you were gonna make it Loki? Mephisto. Make it Mephisto." So do you read any Big Two comics, Nina?
I am more of a DC girl. I'm sorry. DC? I have a Harley Quinn tattoo on my butt.
That's okay. That's okay. If you don't read, if you're a DC girl, it's okay because everybody has faults. It's okay.
Well, say what you will, but while I find that, I know this is something that many people think, and I think many people agree with, that while Marvel has better heroes, I think DC has more colorful villains.
Better
I would
villains.
agree. I'd
And
agree.
No,
I'd
no
agree.
argument.
so, and since most heroes are perfect paragons anyway, I normally just read comics also because of the personality of the villains, and I'm DC all the way for that.
Relatable.
That's fair.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fair. That's good. That's probably one of the best answers I've seen so far.
That's a good answer, and you brought up something that actually I kind of want to expand on. So you said most heroes are the paragon of goodness. I feel like we're at almost a turning point. Like I feel like based on what I've seen, and we could discuss it. I definitely want to know what the chat thinks about it. I feel like with the boys, like this has happened before the boys, but I feel like the boys was really kind of a turning point where I feel like the concept of a sincere, unironic superhero is kind of, I think, dying. I think that people have had the majority, not just comic fans. I think most people have had maybe too much of that, or maybe it's no longer feels relevant anymore. And I think these deconstructions and these kind of like the boys, Watchmen, Invincible style deconstructions are going to become the norm.
What if
and I think
Superman
that
was
Heroes
bad?
Reborn. Right. I think Heroes Reborn is kind of Marvel wading into those waters as well. But I think that the deconstruction, maybe not always Superman's bad, but definitely like that deconstruction, adult, like maybe like a cynical take on superheroes is going to become more of the norm. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. Because sadly, the perfect superhero, like Captain America or Superman, they were cool, but they're just no longer relatable. And that's why people have started, getting bored of them and sometimes rooting for the villains. It's the same reason why everyone loves Donald Duck and everyone hates Mickey Mouse. Because he's perfect and nobody likes a perfect person.
So, Bermion, am I pronouncing Bermion right? Is it Bermion? I don't know. I hope I'm getting it right. But so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anti-heroes like the Punisher, where they're kind of a piece of shit, but it's cool because they're tough and they're fun to watch. No, I'm talking more like almost a meta critique. Like I don't think they're trying to create anti-heroes. I think they're trying to shit on here, like not forget the negative connotation, but take a cynical look at what we think a hero is. I feel like that's the trend that we're going towards. Anti-heroes happened. That was the 90s. That was the early 2000s. It never really went away, but I mean, it's exemplified in like Punisher Max and the Dark Knight Returns and all that stuff. This is something different. This is, I think that the lack of, it's uncool to sincerely like it anymore. I think that's how it is now.
So here's what I think about that. Here's what I'll say. The main audience. All right, let me start with this. So, my grandson, came and visited last month. Yeah, no. And so I'm like, you know what? His mom wanted me to put on the Wiggles, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting here and having the Wiggles on. I'll go crazy, right? So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? Marvel Heroes or whatever it's called, and it's made for kids. I think he was a little too young for it, just because it wasn't catching his attention like the Wiggles did. But I had it playing, and I'm sitting there watching it. And they fought Galactus, and there were Silver Surfers on the team, and it's like really cool. But they're all like, oh right, let's do it, teamwork and all this stuff, right? And I'm just like, no fucking way those comics would sell. There's an audience for the kids because they want it it's all about indoctrination. That's the way it works, right? So they're gonna indoctrinate the kids with these stories. But who is the main buyers? Who is pouring their money into these comic books? Now, chicken and the egg, are they putting the stories because we're putting our money in, or are we putting their money in and that drives the story? I don't know. But here's the deal: is when you look at any character that is unrealistic, that you cannot relate to, like Nina said, you cannot relate to them, then you're kind of disinterested. You don't really like what's going on. I think a good example of that is 1980s, and we don't have to get into it too deep or deep at all, but like 1980s and 1990s, like sitcoms that had like they were trying to do like this diversity thing. So you might see a gay person or you might see a black person, but in the world of this fictional world, there was not it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Like they were just, hey, they're just another person because they're all equal. And then eventually you're like, that's not the real world. Like no one could walk through and just be unaffected. Like it doesn't matter at all. And it was like the whole we don't see color thing, right? And so then you notice TV changing. Once as we got older, like, no, stop showing me this Disneyland version of real life. Comics are doing the same thing right now. Comics are, look, we know that Captain America, and that's why they did like I like Civil War.
Secret Empire is what you're talking about.
No, Secret Empire is one direction, but I actually like Civil War. Civil War was like let's make an argument. Let's make an argument that kind of like it's not like, aha, I'm gonna do the right thing all the time.
Right.
Like, well, no. How about this? What if I went against the good guys, right? The government, who's like really just wanting to do this thing, you know, like is the answer as simple as just Captain America was right? Captain America was right. But is it as simple as that? Is it inarguable? I don't know. So I think it's always going to say, as long as we're buying comic books, I think that's the direction it's going to go.
Now, I love also how, when it comes to Civil War, how it was something that was not only unique to the Marvel Universe, because in roughly the same years, when it came to DC, there was Injustice. In which, alas, pretty much the same thing happened. The superheroes split into two teams, one versus the other. Superman decided to become a big bad dictator. But at the same time, the moment in which Superman made the decision of becoming a big bad dictator and take control of everything so he could maintain peace his own way, he already became a much more interesting character, even though he wasn't relatable, because he didn't change personality, he just changed perspective. And that is something that I think should be done more often to make obsolete characters interesting again.
Good, definitely agree. A lot of it has to do with it's. I can't remember where I read it, where I really dived into it, but what the culture wants largely depends on what frame of mind the culture's in. Like there are times when happy stuff sells. That's the stuff people want. A lot of times it's when the world is in a really shitty place. Like during the Great Depression, people were like desperately trying to find something to make them laugh or smile. That's where like musical theater took off. People were looking for happy stories. And then sometimes when the world is in more of like a secure place or more of a happier place, that's when people are looking for like things that are dark, things like there's whether people want tragedy or comedy largely depends on kind of the state of the culture. So I don't know. It seems like I can't tell if we're moving towards more of people wanting more comedy or people wanting more tragedy, but that definitely impacts how we view heroes too, I think.
You can just see Batman's image to see which direction it's going.
That's right. Yeah, you go to after the Great Depression when people started making money again and people were happy, and then you look at the Batman stories and it's like I know I'm kind of contradicting myself, but it's like super happy Batman, you know? It's like Batman and Robin with like Joker is just painting like City Hall purple, and that's like his scheme, you know? And then you go to the 80s and the Joker's like murdering like literally murdering people and like crippling Jim Gordon, Barbara Gordon and stuff. So, it just depends. It depends on the era. So I don't know. I think we might have beat that one to death.
No, that was a good talk. I like that. And Danny M does say that Injustice is. I guess there's news that the animated adaptation is coming soon. So I gotta get on. Yeah.
Oh, hold that thought. Hold that thought, Danny, because we are going to get more close to that towards the end of this broadcast. Yep. But yeah, that's
what's
exciting.
going on, Marlene? What?
So, hey, Marlene.
We got wives in the chat.
So, the Runaways. Anyone like the Runaways? I know some of the people in our chat love it. I like it. It's but not quite at love. But I know a lot of people really, really love it. But anyway, Runaways is celebrating its 100 issues with giant-sized Runaways comic. So Marvel comic Comics, I don't know why I'm so gassy. I'm sorry, everybody. Marvel Comics announced the upcoming 100 issue of Runaways, set for release August 11th, and it will be a giant-sized spectacular by Rainbow Rowell, Andre Genele, Chris Anka, and Runaways co-creator Adrian Alfana. So that's pretty dope. I'm probably going to get that. I read the first volume of Runaways, and I really liked most of it. The only thing about it that I didn't like is sometimes I just feel like I'm reading something that's not meant for my age group, but whatever. You know what I mean? But it was kind of had like that Pixar effect where it read kind of like it was for kids, but then there were moments of extremely like relevant adult themes. So, damn it, Sammy. She knows all about it. But yeah, so very adult themes. So I'm excited to see what they do with the 100 issues. But anyway, did you either of you watch the show or read that comic book?
I tried watching the show, but it's like you said. I think it was well done. I wanted to watch it, but it was clearly like a YA show. And you could ask Mylene. Like, it's really hard for me to get into YA because I'm an old fart, and I'm like, there's too much happiness in this show.
There's too much happiness. Somebody needs to die. Yeah, but anyway, that's kind of exciting. What's even more exciting to me is, yeah, Mylene loves young adult.
Yep.
A lot of people. I don't knock anyone who loves it.
I don't either.
At all.
It's definitely not bad or anything like that. But yeah.
Yeah, and it's.
Well, you know what it is. It's about themes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think at each stage of our life, we encounter we're in certain themes, right? So when you have like existential crisis, or if you want to talk about like things that 30 to 40-year-olds are experiencing, then those are relatable to me. Deciding my date life, you know what I mean, and like falling in love with my girlfriend, but then she's falling in love with somebody else, and what do I do? And what's my major going to be? Like, those aren't relatable to me, so I start to glass over. So yeah, killing people is obviously more relatable. You're muted.
Killing people is relatable. That was a weird thing to lead with.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Marvel is teasing the introduction of new. Oh, you're gonna like this, Robo. New Omega level mutants. This is not a giant size X-Men. This is a planet sized X-Men. Whoa.
Nice.
So anyway,
Nice.
So here's one thing I realized. I was today years old when I realized that Dawn of X is one part of a trilogy that leads into Reign of X that we're in right now. So right now, Dawn of X is over. We're in Reign of X.
Okay, so now I can go buy the big Dawn of X Omni and start reading.
Yeah, and then get Reign of X, and then I think there's a third one. It's going to be something of X. That's my guess. So Planet Size. So Marvel Comics just shared a sneak peek of Planet Size X-Men. It's written by Jerry Duggan, who's going to be writing the next iteration of X-Men, and it's got one of my all-time favorite artists. This dude is just a world-class talent, Pepe Larraz, and everything he touches is gorgeous. But so this is going to introduce this is their big sell. This is going to introduce some brand new Omega level mutants to the Marvel Universe. A double-length one-shot, Planet-Size X-Men #1 is set for release. This is on Wednesday, June 16th. So here's the quote. 50 years ago, giant-size X-Men changed our world. This June, Planet-Size X-Men is going to change our universe. Marvel writes, that was their official press release. So this June, the Hellfire Trading Company... That sounds like something... That sounds like something he would write.
You guys are not ready for this.
You're not ready. So this June, the Hellfire Trading Company invites readers everywhere to the inaugural Hellfire Gala to announce the first team of Krakoan X-Men to the world and reveal the startling plans that Mutantkind has in store for the Marvel Universe. Glynis, Hickman is not leaving. Hickman is staying around. He's show running. I don't think he's going to be writing the title directly anymore, but this is all Hickman's plan. Hickman came up with this whole thing that we're in the middle of right now. But
at least if this trilogy you're talking about is the plan, I would be willing to bet that at the end of the trilogy, maybe Hickman bows out and goes to whatever. But he's definitely going to finish.
Yeah, they're letting him finish his vision.
Yeah, much to the praise of
Chagrin.
Glynis and Polly. No praise of Glynis and Polly.
Yeah,
They love
but we a few episodes ago we looked at those Hellfire Gala costumes and they are fabulous. It's some pretty good variant titles. Looks really cool. This cover looks amazing. Holy shit, God.
Yeah.
I love the
I gotta
composition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
I like it.
that is great art. That is beautiful art.
It is a great use of the Fibonacci sequence in the composition of the cover. I love it.
Yeah.
Wait. I gotta enlarge it now. The Fibonacci. I'm
Yeah,
stupid.
the
so
Fibonacci
just gotta bear
sequence.
with me.
It's one of
the little snail shell looking thing.
exactly. It's one of those things that once you study composition, then when you look at covers and paintings, then boom, it becomes a lot easier to recognize almost right away.
I take pictures like that. It's called the golden ratio.
Yeah.
Garobo, can you since you have it open, can you just use your mouse to trace for me? Show me where the Fibonacci sequence is here.
Right here. So if you could flip it on its side, it'd be easier. But this would be the small part of it. It would go whoop, whoop, and it would end right there.
I'm not seeing your mouse.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you then. Oh, wait. What if it? Can you see my mouse here?
Yeah, I can see your mouse now.
Okay, so it'd be right here. It would start here. So it would go small, and then kind of.
I kind of see it the other way around. Like on the top left corner is where the line starts, and then it goes down and it curls at the bottom where the logo is.
Nina, you're a spectacular art analyst, I have to say.
Hold on. Let's go. Golden, we're doing this. Golden ratio.
Golden ratio.
Yeah, are you guys seeing it? Is it doing it with it?
Is that so? Like if you take that and flip it 90 degrees and post it on it, so flip it 90 degrees so it's vertical. It's like that. So it goes like frick. The webcam's mirrored like this.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. Like, I just look at the way the patterns are grouped, and so when I look at this one, the pattern seems to be grouped tightly here, and then so like if I flip this on its side, it looks like who's that girl on the top? Fucking, God damn it!
Go back to it.
They go in the black. It's the witch. Magic.
Rasputin. Yeah.
Yeah. So, stop. No, get out of here. So Rasputin's here, and then this is the bottom of it. So just kind of flip it, but like it starts tight up here, all the patterns, then it kind of opens out down here. I don't know. I guess it just depends on how you look at it.
It's
but
cool.
Either way, I think that's a good catch. I didn't even see that.
This is Pepe Larraz, I think. Yeah, this is Larraz. God, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's beautiful. I just love all the detail, and I love like the shininess where like the lighting and just like I don't have like a intelligent way of talking about it, but I really like it. It makes me happy.
It looks good.
Looks good. So we've had Cullen Bunn on our show before. And we love Cullen, but
absolutely.
For those of you that
videos,
I don't want to. I'm not ready to talk about it. So it's okay.
I lost it.
Life happens. It happens. Anyway, so Cullen Bunn.
Now you're over it.
I'm over it. So. Yeah. For those of you that like Harrow County, it's coming back. Acclaimed comic book writer Cullen Bunn is returning to his horror anthology series, Harrow County, this July, joined by Tyler Crook and artist Emily Schnall for a 4-issue miniseries, Tales from Harrow County. Fairfolk. So after losing her friend to a mysterious portal, returning protagonist Bernice settles into her role as the Midwestern town's protector from supernatural forces, only to face a plot by the fair folk. So, Robo, you read the first volume of Harrow County, right?
Yeah. I bought it for Marlene because she loves horror and didn't read it. So I watched it, and she has a little friend with a little skin and stuff. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I really like. I wish I finished the whole series. I liked the first volume. I thought it was pretty cool. And it is scary. It's creepy. Like, and it's hard to be scared by a comic book. I think just me. Like, I need
Yeah.
something to jump out at me to really scare me, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But it
I
wasn't
just
eerie.
like the whole setting, and yeah, that's it. That's a good word for it. Like the setting of like that eerie, anything that's set in the woods, anything that's like templated Blair Witch, right? Woods, witchcraft, spookiness, murder, demons, like that stuff is always gonna like, kind of give me goosebumps, or chicken skin, whichever you prefer.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about like what's scary on the show before. I still think that being in the ocean with a giant octopus is literally the scariest existence you could have in the known universe. But we've never asked Nina about it. So Nina, what do you think what is like your ultimate horror nightmare? What do you think is the most scary thing?
I would have to say assault, but not just like being.
I thought you said salt,
Oh.
like the
Salt.
food. I was
I was
like,
like,
no.
Is this like an Italian thing? Like,
yeah, too much
in my
salt.
food.
like this is the saltiest pasta I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
assault, okay.
Sorry.
But like
Sorry.
even
I don't
in
mean to make
media
light of that,
in
sorry.
general. No, it's fine. So like even in movies, TV series, or anything related to real life, whenever there is a assault, I'm not going to go into details of a man, normally a man, overpowering a woman physically is one of the scariest things ever, because there's like, at least from the point of view from the woman, there is nothing you can do, and you are at this person's mercy, and this person has no good intentions whatsoever.
That's deep. I that's actually really telling, right? I mean, and
That's
we
a-
don't
that-
have to go super deep into it.
That's a
but
harsh
it definitely
brush
is
of
a
like
sign-
male. Yeah, I know.
It's
What you're saying.
definitely a sign of privilege, right? So when
Right.
you look at dudes, like, what's scary? Giant shark,
Yeah, right. Made up shit.
monster in the corner, right? And then a woman's like, you guys, y'all,
Yeah.
you're fucking
Yeah.
scary, fucking
Alas.
piece of shit.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that is
okay,
like
that's fair,
that is
that's fair.
it's striking, very striking. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's why most women have to walk around with pepper spray in their pocket when they go around alone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Someone real close to me whose name might rhyme with Mylene was talking about, she's going on the trip, and she's like she gotta get a little knife, or maybe I can get a keychain that looks like something else, and it could be like a pepper spray thing. And I'm like, I would never think of these things. I would never think of these things. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's like
All
two different realities.
Mhm.
So
But yeah, Howard County good. Get scary shit.
someone in this chat, someone in the chat mentioned a new
Animation.
DC animated series.
Danny,
What did Danny bring up? Because it was something different than what I'm about to talk about.
Injustice.
Injustice, that's right. I will watch the shit out of that. That's going to be awesome. But speaking of DC animated series, so check this out. Batman animated series from J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves coming to HBO Max. So get ready, because there's a little nugget of awesomeness that's coming later in this. But first, it's already awesome. So these powerhouse directors joined the DC animated universe veteran Bruce Timm, the guy who brought us Batman the animated
There you
series.
go.
Yeah. So
We
J.J.
have
Abrams
an interview with him on our playlist. Go check it out.
it's Kevin Altieri, but close. He worked with
Oh,
Bruce
shit.
Timm. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Bruce Timm.
He's so great. Yeah.
Go
So-
check out Terry.
So J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, and Bruce Timm, like holy shit,
Yeah, it's
are
awesome.
reimagining the Cape Crusader by returning to the character's noir roots. The powerhouse directors, along with DC Animated Universe veteran Bruce Timm, have received a straight-to-series order for Batman Caped Crusader from HBO Max and Cartoon Network. This series is billed as a reimagining of the Batman mythology. We are beyond excited to be working together to bring this character back to tell engrossing new stories in Gotham City, said Abrams, who you might have seen his name on Star Wars The Force Awakens, and Reeves, who he's the guy behind that kind of weird The Batman show that I didn't love, but it was still pretty decent. The series will be thrilling, cinematic, and evocative of Batman's noir roots while diving deeper into the psychology of these iconic characters. So, Robo, you got that picture? So there's an image available about this. And the thing that really struck out to me, so they're talking about returning to Batman's noir roots, and the way Batman looks in this series, he's got like those big Batman ears, and he's all like gloomy and shady. It's not grimdark Batman from the 80s. It's pulp noir Batman from 1938. So we're talking like this is like golden age
sound effects over.
So we're talking golden age Batman, and I think it's going to be look there. So if you right now go check out Detective Comics, God, I'm such a piece of shit nerd. Detective Comics number 38, I think. I don't know. I'm 27. Whatever.
Fake nerd. Fake comic fan.
I'm a fake fan. If you go look at like Batman's first appearance in Detective Comics, that's how his ears look. And I feel like that's a deliberate move here because they did say they're going back to his noir roots. So I think what we're going to be looking at is kind of like a very grounded, something I've missed actually, a very grounded Batman that works on the streets and, catches like murderers and shit, not necessarily firing like cosmic guns at Darkseid. You know what I mean? So
yeah, 100%. Ainsley said it best. So Ainsley is one of our moderators in our Facebook groups, and she said it best. It was when we were sitting here arguing about not arguing so much, but just kind of like venting about Batman being able to fight Superman, right? And it's a conversation that's had ad nauseum on Twitter and whatever else. But she said it best. She goes, the problem with Batman inside Justice League like this is it is ridiculous to put him in the verse of like superhero gods, right? The best Batman stories is when he's on the street and being a detective. Not superhero Batman, but detective Batman. And when he is a caped crusader, Sherlock Holmes, that's the best, right? Dark, gritty still, right? Give us Batman what we like, but a detective. Flipping around and flying around people like Darkseid and stuff, just like stop. You'd be evaporated. Just stop it. Detective Batman would be dumb.
Agreed.
Yeah, Detective Batman is definitely better than Batman in a mech suit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sorry. So since we were going back to Batman and we were talking about Star Wars at the beginning of the show, if they're bringing back the J.J. Abrams, Bruce Timm, or even reimagining or like creating a new one, I really, really, really hope they also involve Mark Hamill in this project as well.
Imagine.
Because personally,
Please.
my favorite Joker was the Mark Hamill Joker. Like he's not
That's fair.
Exactly. He's not that super crazy Joaquin Phoenix Joker, but he's like the fun, colorful Joker that is bad and badass. And I loved his Joker. Absolutely. I really
awesome.
hope he comes back,
Judy,
or at least something similar.
Judy, you're clearing your throat. Just fucking do it.
Oh, I wasn't going to do it. You hate it. And
you're going to do it. Just fucking do it. Just get it out of your system so we can move on with our lives.
You killed Captain Clown. You killed Captain Clown. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. I'll be here all week, folks.
Good job.
Warner Brothers actually reached out to me. They were like, "Can you Mark Hamill can't do the voice anymore. Is there any way you could kind of replace him?" And I was like,
"I know. I have. He has a live." I was like, "So why would you turn that down for this show? You turned it down to be here on this live."
Yeah, I'm not missing a live.
No fucking way.
No fucking way.
All right. Did you have anything else you want to say?
That does it for the news. That does it for everything we have prepared.
Nina,
one thing I want to say:
quick.
check out Nina's work.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Check out
100%.
Nina's work. Yeah.
So we've been having everybody in the chat. There's a theme here, right? We've been having more Webtoon creators on. We definitely want to get the word out there. So Nina, we asked this of the other ones. We'll ask the same of you. If people want to get into Webtoons, what are some titles outside of your own? Obviously, go check out our work. But what are some titles people should be reading, like if they want to kind of check out the webtoon world?
Well, Webtoons started as a Korean webcomics platform, and to this day, some of their most popular and even their biggest comics are Korean. Many of which were also bought out by Netflix, and many Webtoon series have been made in Netflix series, like True Beauty, Sweet Home, Itaewon Class. So if you want to go into classic webtoon, I would say check out the Korean series. The ones that I personally prefer the most at the moment are The Remarried Empress and Your Throne, but that's just because I like dark political fantasy comics with female leads. But if
Nice.
that's not your cup of tea, there are also many very good action series like The Gamer, which has been going on for a long time, and it is it is super cool, and Tower of God. But if you want to stay a little bit more local and support some more American creators, then series like Cursed Princess Club,
Laura
or
Olympus.
Edith, Laura Olympus, yeah. So those are also all very good non-Korean series that you might enjoy. But if you're going to get into webtoons, I also recommend that you check out the Canvas section of webtoons, because there are so many really good comics there that are not advertised as much on webtoons, and you can definitely find some secret nuggets of gold in there.
Nice. Awesome.
I love
Awesome.
secret nuggets of gold.
Awesome. Ladies, gentlemen, and envies, thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was Nina Daisy Iberline. Thank you so much. Go check out her work, Sunrise Blossom. Aramis kindly dropped the links. Click it. And the Indiegogos in there too.
Club Valiant.
As we gently say it again. Go ahead, plug it.
I
Talk about
was just giving you
go.
okay. So as you may or may not know, we are tremendous fans of Valiant Comics, and we have started a Valiant Comics book club where we are going to read every single goddamn Valiant trade paperback comic since the reboot in 2012. We're going to do it in chronological order. And our first, so you may have seen our Zero episode. Episode number 1 is this Sunday, and it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to get into Exo Manowar Volume 1, To Kill a King by not To Kill a King, By the Sword, sorry. Exo Manowar Volume 1, By the Sword by Robert Venditti. It's the first 4 issues of Exo Manowar, and some of you have read it. I know that Glynis has read it, and I've read it, and I think Robo's read it. But if you want to join the conversation, read it. It's available on Comixology Unlimited. You could find it somewhere. It's somewhere. Just read those first 4 issues and then join us on Sunday to talk about it. Aramis just posted the Comixology link, so give that a look.
It's awesome. What time are we doing this? It's going to be live, right?
Live 8 p.m. on this coming Sunday is the first episode. It's going to be every 2 weeks, so you'll have 2 weeks.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. That's right.
Yep.
And you'll have 2 weeks to read the next volume, which we'll announce, or we'll provide that information in the episode. But yeah, read along with us. Let's all enjoy this awesome third superhero universe together.
Ooh,
so
check that out.
Yeah.
Hey, this is even better. Even better than Amazon Comixology. Don't give your money out if you don't have to. Go get a card from your local library and get on Hoopla Digital, and then just support your local library. I know Glynis would appreciate that shout out too.
Half the Bezos, twice the awesome.
Zero the Bezos. All right, y'all. Take it easy. And we are out of here.
Peace.